Welcome to Direct to Video, DVD Extras, a podcast between podcasts where we talk about whatever we want. And we keep forgetting to say this during episodes, but if you like us, leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thanks. Now, where's the button on this thing? Tell us about this musical you've been hyping.
Oh my god. Okay, so I live near Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the university there had a presentation of the Lion King musical at Pope Joy Theater, and two good friends of mine had an extra ticket, and the day of, like that day that they were going to go, they sent me a text asking me if I could make it, and I was like, drop everything, all plans are dropped, I'm going to go see this. This is worth it.
And I will say, just so the listeners know this, I don't hold it against you, that one of the plans that was dropped was recording the podcast.
Well, I mean, my entire reasoning was, this is podcast related.
It totally is.
And
because we're talking about it now, aren't we?
Yeah, so my number one takeaway from the Lion King musical is, it has the most beautiful costumes I have ever seen in my life. Like, I'm talking, like, this is some, like, just not even including wardrobe, but, like, it's, some of the costumes are, like, this abstract combination of puppetry and interpretive dance kind of menagerie. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't think so.
Probably not, no.
Just flowy bits.
That's interesting, because I think I saw, like, a song from the Lion King musical when I was, like, in Disney World, okay?
Yeah.
And I would have been, like, 7, so I don't remember a lot about that. But recently, I remember, because my cousin was singing, she does a lot of musical stuff.
Yeah.
She was doing The Little Mermaid with her musical group.
Nice.
And she was, like, looking up what the Little Mermaid musical was like on YouTube. And, man, the costumes were goofy.
I bet.
People are just walking around with these giant fins coming out of their asses. And it was goofy, and they couldn't really get that final scene with Ursula to work right, so they had to change the ending.
Yeah, that I can understand.
Because they couldn't crash a boat into her, you know?
Yeah.
So it was just a little bit anticlimactic, and I thought, well, if that's how the musicals are like, I'll just keep watching the movies.
Yeah, no, the Lion King musical is... They just... It is the movie. It is the Lion King movie. It's just that instead of lions and animals, you have this layer of interpretive dance and actors portraying those roles. And the only real complaint I had the entire time I was watching was the actor who played Mufasa. His voice was nowhere near as deep and somber and wise as James Earl Jones's voice. But then I realized, well, that's because who else could do that?
That's a good point. It's the reason he was hired is because he's got such a great voice. I mean, it's kind of rough to pull out another super deep, somber voice.
So yeah, that actor had definitely the most to live up to. And the actor who played Scar was fantastic. He really nailed that kind of suave, manipulative, aloof vibe, like, heartily.
Yeah, I love not only Scar as a villain, but just Scar as a character, where, like, he's obviously the villain, but you sort of like him anyway.
Yeah, there's something about him and his demeanor that's it's intriguing to just watch him work.
I thought you were going to say endearing, and that's not it.
Yeah, it's intriguing to watch him work. as a character. And just this entire musical, by the way, is like an ode to every piece of African culture that they could get their hands on.
That's kind of great, because that's actually one of my favorite things about the movies. And we talked about that a little, how they tried and failed to do that in the second one.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that the play adds a couple of scenes that fit so well that it almost feels like they're supposed to be there. Oh,
they have one of my favorite songs in the play that was cut from the movie.
It was in the second Lion King movie.
No, not that song.
What?
Be Prepared, the reprise?
Yes, they have the reprise. The reprise is
I love
there.
that one.
And so yeah, the reprise is added. It's at the beginning of Act 2, I believe. I actually have the playbook right here. Give me a sec. By the way, I have the playbook just right here in front of me.
Of course you do.
Just, because I went and saw it live.
Whatever, I went to the Mabimbam show. That was cool.
Okay, that is cool that you got to, like, be in the presence of the internet's favorite good boys, the McElroy brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find... okay, wait, I was wrong. Okay. So, the reprise of Be Prepared is added after the scene at the gorge when they are at Pride Rock.
Right. It would have been... Because it would have been instead of that other scene where he introduces the hyenas, right?
No.
He's like,
this is after
eulogy?
This is after Mufasa's death.
No, yeah, but there's a scene in the movie where he's like giving a eulogy for Mufasa and Simba.
Yeah, that's where they put it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then after that, there's another amazing little musical number, which is just Sarabi and Nala and Rafiki kind of mourning the deaths of Simba and Mufasa, which is stirring. I'm going to take a second to talk about Rafiki.
Yeah,
because
can I just mentioned, because I know almost nothing about this musical.
You got it.
The fact that there is a Sarabi Nala Rafiki song is awesome.
Yeah, it's so. Oh God. Okay. God, there's so much to talk about. So Rafiki in the musical has a much larger role than in the film, because in the film Rafiki's just like the Obi-Wan of the movie. He knows things about Simba's past that Simba doesn't know about and teaches him to be good later.
Right. But they compared him to Merlin at one point.
Yeah, exactly. But in the play, his, and I'm actually going to start saying her role, because Rafiki in this play was played by an amazing singer from South Africa, and she knocked it out of the park, by the way, like killed it. Rafiki in this play speaks almost entirely in I forget the name of the dialect, but this African language, the Click language.
Oh, okay.
And
I couldn't tell you that dialect.
Yeah.
When you said it, I understood what you meant.
And she almost the entire play, she's speaking that language, with the couple of exceptions being whenever she interacts with Simba and the other actors. That's the one time she kind of switches back to English, which is very interesting. Because otherwise, because when she's not interacting with the other characters, she's interacting with the audience. She's the narrator. She's the storyteller. It's like that. She's the one telling the story of Simba. That's her role, and she's the framing device. So the fact that she only addresses the audience in this African language really like lays it down that, hey, this is a wholly African story, even though all the actors acting within the play are speaking English.
That's really interesting.
And God, so she's amazing.
I'm so mad that you got to see this play now.
It's so good. And So the play is split into two acts, and by the way, I nailed the two-act structure of The Lion King perfectly, because the first act ends right at Hakuna Matata, which I believe I said when we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's when he's it makes sense.
So
because that's when he's grown up, and you have to start second act when he's
an adult.
Up.
So the way there was a 20-minute intermission in between the two acts. But the way the first act ended was the entire Hakuna Matata song and dance, and then there's a point in which Simba jumps and grabs a vine and swings off stage, and then adult Simba immediately swings on stage, lands in the center, and finishes the Hakuna Matata number, and it's so seamless, and just it blew me away. Like, just seeing it done on stage was amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that idea. And I can sort of, even though I can't exactly appreciate that, I did watch that bootleg of the Hamilton musical, so I understand.
Shame on you.
I know, but it was so good.
I'm waiting, man. I'm still waiting.
I think you want to wait for the real one anyway. It wasn't a good bootleg, but I could see a lot of because they go right to the next song each time.
Yeah.
And especially during, like, Room Where It Happens, where there's a surprising amount of, like, flashback scenes.
Yeah.
They were just really good at doing that. And so that's what I'm thinking of when you say how seamless the transformation to adult Simba was.
It's this play does, this is, I keep kind of switching between calling it a play and a musical, because it is so much a play. It just also has these amazing, beautiful musical numbers in between these key scenes. The other scene that they add, He Lives in You, is, I did not know this, is a song in two parts.
Okay, how's that work? The
second part of the song is He Lives in You, and I'm going to talk about that later. But the first part of the song is They Live in You, and it is sung when Mufasa is telling Simba about the kings of the past.
Ah.
Right? And so now the song, to me, now the song makes even more sense. Like, it's 1,000 times more. And by the way,
it's more potent, for one thing.
Yeah.
When you hear it coming the second time around.
There are so many moments in this play where what was happening on stage was such an intense experience that I started crying. Not because it was sad, but because I was so emotional and I didn't know how to express that emotion that I would just start crying. Like, it's just so much. It's so much. Also, this was the first musical I've ever seen live.
Yeah?
Yeah, like ever. So it's a pretty
I'm trying to remember.
Good first one.
I definitely saw a musical live, but it's been a long, long time. I think I used to go in middle school. We used to go on field trips to see them.
So, I mean, I've seen I think maybe when I was a kid I was supposed to go see The Nutcracker, but I don't know what that is. Is that a musical? No, it's more of a ballet performance.
No, it's a ballet.
It was a ballet, yeah. So it's a
ballet.
I've seen The Nutcracker, but which my opinion of The Nutcracker was that it was hella boring, except for the weird, trippy nightmare sequence when
with the Rat King.
Yeah,
Queen?
Where the Nutcracker dies, quote unquote.
Is that what happens?
Well, he doesn't die, but he dies. It's weird. That whole play is weird. Musical, ballet.
Here's the thing. I sort of understand what you mean, but when you said he doesn't die, but he dies, it's like, yeah, okay, crazy.
So Mufasa sings "They Live in You," and then the second time the reprise "He Lives in You" is played is when Rafiki shows Mufasa his own reflection.
Okay, I need to stop you there because you did the thing.
Yes.
He showed Simba his own reflection.
Ah, god damn it. Well, hey, you know what? Mufasa lives in Simba, so
that's true.
I'm technically not wrong. So there's so much to talk about. So the stage at Popejoy is really, really small compared to the Broadway stage. It's got to be like half the size. So it's easy to tell there are some parts where it's like if there was a bigger stage, there should be a lot more going on. Like this play only had 2 drafts, which was still very fucking impressive, but there's a lot of places where it feels like there should be more happening, but because the stage is so small, they kind of had to condense it down a bit. It does not make the play any less effective. It's just there are moments where I can see like the grand scale that the play wants to hit isn't quite there. Man, like boom, just head explosion. So the second scene that they add is a scene. It's the madness of King Scar, and it is the scene that establishes exactly what's going wrong. It's Scar hanging out with Zazu, and it's basically an entire rundown of like, since Simba's grown up, you know, the Scar has encouraged the lionesses to overhunt,
right?
And because of
and you sort of know in the movie that's happening, but it's only kind of referenced.
They don't ever explicitly, like, the one thing they talk about in the movie is the drought, is how there's no water,
right? But he does say, well, but a couple things that can sort of be inferred is now the hyenas are hunting in the Pride Lands. And Zazu is called the hyenas poachers, which means that they do overhunt.
So that's the big thing, is in the play, Zazu calls the hyenas poachers, but then it's revealed that Scar has the lionesses hunting for the hyenas as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the hyenas aren't really actually even hunting for their own food. He's having the lionesses do all the work.
Right, and again, that is sort of
it's
reference.
Yeah, the movie kind of puts all the facts out there, but it doesn't ever explicitly say it. And
right, because there's that moment where he's like, "It's the lioness's job to do the hunting," you know.
Yeah, and then the other thing that this scene does,
which says to me maybe this scene was originally in the movie and they cut it out and just left all the facts in there, just kind of more hidden.
And the next scene, which is actually right after this one, feels the same way, and it's the scene in which Scar realizes... Scar's sitting there, he's thinking, like, you know what? I'm missing something. There's something that Mufasa had in his reign that I never had. And Zazu makes a little... Zazu's amazing in this, by the way. Like, I actually liked Zazu in the live-action musical more than in the movies.
Okay, that's kind of impressive.
They made him... They basically made him another jester character.
Mm-hmm.
But he still takes himself very seriously. So it's like he's not in on the joke in which he is the joke. Which it actually kind of makes him very endearing. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the movie, he's just a bird with a stick up his butt.
I'm nodding, but, like, you can't see that.
Yeah, I don't...
Thank you for listening to Direct to Video. VHS title card DVD extras. I have been Tony Robusto, and you can find me on Twitter at TheaterBats with an ER, and you can find the podcast on direct2.video.
And I've been Andres Reyes, long pause expert, and you can find me at royalty_Valens. The underscore is important.
No, that's not bad. Long pause expert.
Long pause expert is really good, though. I would. That's a good permanent one. Although I just realized that if you cut the pauses out, that joke doesn't make any sense.
Don't worry, Andy. I wouldn't worry about that one. It'll probably be fine.
I own 4 CDs. 2 of them are just the Hamilton soundtrack, and the other 2 are Taylor Swift albums.
Yikes.
So, excuse me.
You and I have different tastes in music, except for Hamilton and Disney, I guess.
I feel like once we get past Hamilton and Disney, me and you have nothing in common.
That's going to be a dark day.